Good morning, class. This is your old pal, Mr. Grifka. Today we're learning about graphs, functions, and tables. So please get out your notebooks and write that down. For those of you not in my class, thanks for watching my video. I'm here to entertain and educate. That is my goal in life. If you want to know what today's date is, it is November 4th, 2015. So if you're watching this video fairly recently, cool. If this video is super old, that's fine too. I really am not too worried about it. Alright, hopefully by now, those of you in my class have this written down. If not, I can pause the video. For those of you who are taking notes at home, kudos to you. I think that's kind of awesome. Alright, I'm going to get rid of this now because I don't want it anymore. Alright, I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. Today we are converting graphs into tables, into functions. So, as you will see here, I made a graph and I labeled every single point that I could think of. So we'll be working on this as time goes on. So the points we have here are -2, -2, -1, -1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, and 4, 4. For those of you in my class, no, you don't have to draw the graph if you don't want to. I would suggest it, but it's not mandatory. But you do need to make a table. So please make the table with me. We have -2, -2, -1, -1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, and 4, 4. Wow. So you'll see you have this table here. Are you noticing any correlation or anything in y that reminds you of x? Exactly. They are the same numbers. So what your function would be here is you would say y equals x. Or if you want to say 1x, you can say 1x. It doesn't matter. Y and x are equal, so that is the graph. If you were to have a graphing calculator, or if you have a graphing calculator at home, you can put in y equals x into your graphing calculator feature. This graph will come out. If you click on the table button, this table should pop out. For those of you in my class, I will pause the video and show you right now. For those of you at home, you can post a comment, and if you want to see the calculator version, I can do that later. I don't want to waste your time with calculator tricks, so I'll stop it there. I'll give my class, and for those of you at home, a little more time to work on this, copy this down, so you can kind of get where we're going with this lesson. Alright, moving on to the next graph. Oh, I got good distance on that one. Alright, again, I drew a line, labeled the points. So let's write these points down. We have -1, -1, 0, 1, and 1, 3. So you'll notice that the x and y aren't the same number, except for here. But these aren't, so that strategy doesn't work. So we have to find a way to get from between y's. So you see these all go up by 1. What is the difference between -1 and 1? Hopefully you realize that this is 2. And the distance between 1 and 3 is, of course, 2. So you know that y equals 2x because the number in front of the variable here, which is x, this is called the coefficient. That's the change here. When x goes up by 1, what does y go up or down by? That's 2. But if you try that, 1 times 2 should be 2, not 3. So we need to do something. How do I get from 2 to 3? Of course, Jalen, you add 1. So, let's check it here. 2 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1. That one works. 2 times -1 is -2, plus 1 is -1. So that one works as well. So now, you have a graph, a table, and a function. theoretically, by the end of this unit or even the end of this lesson, hopefully I can give you this, and you could create this and this, or if I give you this, you could create these two, or you can if I give you this, you can create these two, which is what we did here. I gave you the graph, and then we created the table and the function. This one is bothering me, so I'm going to go over it. Okay. Any questions thus far from my class? I will pause the video if you have any. Okay, moving on to the next graph. All right. This one is a little bit trickier. I did not label the points for you, so you have to remember how to create ordered pairs. So let's look at this. We'll start with this point. The first number is how far you go right or left. So we say we go over 1, up 1, 2. So this point should be 1, 2. Here we go over 0, down 1. So that point is 0, negative 1. And here we go negative 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that point is negative 1, negative 4. Sorry if that's hard to read. I'll cross it out. I'll draw an arrow there. I think I made it more confusing than I needed to, but you'll live. Alright, so we have 3 points here. I personally always like starting with the most negative number at the top of my table. So I say negative 1, negative 4, 0, negative 1, and 1, 2. What is the distance from negative 4 to negative 1? If you don't want to do the integers, you could just count and say 1, 2, 3. And then count here. You would say 1, 2, 3. So that distance is 3. So the beginning of our function is y equals 3x. And then let's test this number here. 3 times 1 is what? Yes, Sarah, it's 3. How do you get to 2? Subtract 1. 0 times 3 is 0, minus 1 is negative 1. Negative 1 times 3 is negative 3, minus 1 is negative 4. So this would be 3x minus 1. Are you with me? All right. I'll give you a second to write that information down. I'm not going to stop the video though. Well, I will stop the video for those of you watching it. For those of you at home that want to keep listening, I'm going to move on to the next topic. Alright, this last one here is a bit of a challenge. I just want to see what you were capable of. So let's look at this. We obviously have the point 0, 0 right here. And if you're wondering how I pick my points, I just look for any time that I see the line cross the x and y axis, or when it forms a corner here, and I put a dot there. So I mean, I could pick this point here, but it'd be kind of a half, and I don't want to deal with that, so I just go for whole numbers. So anyway, this is 1, 2, 1, so that's 2, 1. 3, 4, 1, 2, so I have the point 4, 2 here. This is the point negative 2, negative 1. And this is the point negative 4, negative 2. Alright. So again, I have 5 points that I'll put into my table. Alright. So you see that there I have 5 points. But how I challenge you this time, x's are not going up by 1. They're going up by 2's. So this is getting into some algebra slope type stuff. I just want to see what we're capable of. What is the distance from negative 2 to negative 1? It's 1. All these differences are 1. Now, going back to our other ones, we took the difference and divided it in the difference of x, which was always 1. So whatever this distance was the answer. Now we have a difference of 2 here. So what is 1 divided by 2? 1/2 or 0.5. I'm going to use the decimal because I like decimals. And then we can just test it. Half of 0 is still 0. Half of 2 is 1. Half of 4 is 2. That would be our answer. Just a tip for you, if you want to remember this. If the point ever passes through the, if the graph ever passes through the point 0, 0, it's not going to have a plus or a minus here. But if it passes through up here or down here, then it will have a plus or minus after the x. That's just a quick thing to remember for you. It might help you out. So, any questions about reading a graph, creating a table, or creating a function? Or if I gave you this function, maybe